Hello, welcome. I wanted to shoot a real quick video to talk to you about your exam, which is open as of today. I wanted to talk about what you can expect when you go and look at it, and when you go to take it, I should say, and also best practices for studying and moving forward. So, like I told you in the very beginning, I'm not trying to trick you. You can rest assured that everything you're going to see on your exam is something I have pointed to you before. There are no tricks, no evil, at least as far as I am able to manage. So here's what your exam's going to look like. Then we're going to talk about how to study for it. Then we're going to talk a little bit about how to take it. So structure-wise, it is a 4-section exam. The first section is a poem accompanied with 10 multiple choice questions. These multiple choice questions are given to everyone who takes this class at Northwestern State. And the idea is this is our department diagnostic. So those are a small part of your exam, 20 points total, if I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head. Following that up, you will find 10 questions that ask you to fulfill our terms for this class. So just give me the definitions that I gave to you in those video lectures. Prove to me that you've been paying attention this whole time and that you've got all that worked out and that you've been on top of that. The final 2 sections are poem explications. The first is a poem you've never seen before, and it simply says, hey, what does this poem mean? And it has some questions to help guide you, but what's up? That's your first essay. I want you to write a complex, thoughtful essay that uses a lot of evidence from the text to support the assertions that it's making. And I want you to tell me what that poem means. That's your first essay. Your second and final essay question asks you to take one of the terms from our book, one of the terms we've talked about in fairly great detail, definitely something I've spent some time on more than one time, and tell me, hey, how does this idea work in this poem? How does this idea right here work in this poem? So, how does given, and it will be one of the terms from your list. So, that's your whole exam. 50 points definitions, 20 points multiple choice, 40 points apiece for each of your 2 essays. Fairly straightforward. It gives me a chance to really see that you've been paying attention and that you've been working on literary analysis. The idea of just telling me what poems mean. That is all that's going on here. So how do you study for this exam? Step 2. Go back through each of our forms, which you should be able to see all of them, and find the terms list that I've asked you to make each and every single week. Take them all together, copy them all together. That's your study guide. That has all of the terms that will be on your test. I guarantee you that everything you'll need to know that I've asked to get a really high grade on this test is on that form. So go back through the forms, create your own study guide by finding the terms that we've used in class. Again, that's why those term checks were such an important part of your weekly practice, is because now you are ready and willing and able to create your own study guide, and it shouldn't be that big of an issue. In terms of the essays, while you can't study for that, you can practice. And the simple idea is pick a poem out of your book and try and answer the 2 known essay questions. Obviously, you'll have to get used to the idea of using one of those concepts to talk about it. But it's really straightforward. So you find a poem and you go, all right, so A, what does this poem mean? Write an essay on it. Take about 20 to 30 minutes maybe, spend some time with it, get some practice, get good at it, make sure that you're using examples, and if you do that and you'd like me to look over it, shoot it my way. For the other essay question, do the same thing. So just pick a term off of our list, pick a poem out of our book, and kind of slam them together. See if there's a possible way to discuss this. So how does alliteration work in this poem that I just opened to randomly from my book? That is as good a method of practicing as you will find. And I guarantee you that if you do that a few times, when you come to it on the exam, this should not be scary. So, those are the first 2 ideas. The third idea, how do you take this exam? So, I've spoken about this. You should have taken last week a quiz, or the week before, preparing you to prepare for your final exam. You have to take it in a proctored environment, which means either on an NSU campus. That does not mean just here in Natchitoches. We're also in Shreveport, in Ellick, in Fort Polk, and in Marksville, it turns out. Or take it online through ProctorU. Now, I think all of you have already answered this question, so you're probably way on top of this plan. but I just wanted to make sure that we're all clear. You will need an appointment regardless of which tutoring or which proctoring method you're going to use. And I would like you to send me an email letting me know. Particularly send me that email if you're using one of the on-campus testing centers in whichever city that might be, so that I can make sure to send the password to whomever will be proctoring your exam. The exam is password protected, and you should not get that password from any source other than the proctor at your exam. So if I find that someone has managed to take the exam without having to, outside of a proctored environment, that person will automatically receive a 0, and I'm sure that won't happen. I'm sure you guys are on top of that. I just want to be completely fair on the rules. So that's the situation. That's where we're at this moment. Questions, by all means, get a hold of me. Thank you very much for your time.